Paying attention to the details can really pay off. Well, hey, it's Jennie Wallach here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Keller Williams Realty, and I love sharing this story about the Brummets, some of our favorite clients of all time. This was such a good story in that it taught me a lot, and it also taught me that paying attention to the details can really pay off. So here's the story. Back in the day, I was the lead agent on our real estate team, and I had the opportunity for a listing appointment. Now, over the phone conversation with this potential seller, I got to understand a little bit about their needs and what was happening with their move and why they were making a move. And also, I learned something pretty important was that they had sold many homes over the years. They were not new to this home selling situation, so they were pretty knowledgeable in the process. And so they were interviewing 9 agents. That's right, 9 agents. Now, I don't know if you're like me, I tend to be a repeat and referral type of agent. So a lot of our clients that we get the opportunity to help, we're the only agent that they're talking with, which is awesome. But in this case, I knew I needed to come extra prepared. And so what I did actually was I took a team member with me. See, my team member at the time, she was great at helping us with staging homes for our clients and also a really great writer. And so she was the one that was creating our listing descriptions and our blog wording. And so I thought that would be a great addition to my appointment with them, especially with the competition at hand. And so I showed up with Neil, my friend and team member, with me at the appointment. And it was a lovely home, a great neighborhood, and well kept, nicely staged. And typically my process, like maybe yours, is I use that first bit of time together and walking around and touring the property. Not only is it good for you to take some notes, but it's also good for you to ask more questions and connect with them even on a deeper level. But this time I wanted to do something different. And I said, you know what? Typically, we would take a tour of your home, and I can just already tell that it's in beautiful, beautiful condition and so nicely decorated. Would you mind if we went ahead and just started at the kitchen table and we can just chat a little bit? They're like, yeah, sure, that's great. And see, I just started with asking them some questions. You know, I always would like to start with, in a perfect world, how would this all go for you if you could just have the process work out just as planned? Line item and detail that process for me. And so in that conversation, I'm taking notes and listening to what really matters to them. So much so that I then just asked, what is it specifically that you're looking for in your next agent? And see, they shared with me that they were looking for an agent that thinks outside of the box and does things a little differently. But in the meantime, they had the most adorable little doggy, this Bichon that is fluffy and white and just precious. Now, she was holding this puppy the whole time, and I was obsessed, honestly. And I said, oh my gosh, what is your dog's name? And she shared that with me. And I wrote that down. I took notes. And even through asking other questions, I am a note taker. And I think this is really important in today's world. If you're using technology so much that you're not getting the pen and paper notes, this might be a reminder to go back to that, because in the end, we got the listing. I was super excited to get the call. And so we started our whole process. I took out the sign in the key box after all the paperwork was signed. And Mrs. Brummett had me come in whenever I was, dropping off everything. And she said, you do know why we picked you? And I said, no, but I would sure love to know. And she said, it's because I saw you write down the name of our dog. And obviously I love this dog. And that just meant the world to me that you cared enough about us and our family and getting our home sold, but also about our loved pet. So I share this story often in the classroom because I think that sometimes we can overlook some of the small little touches that can really help us stand out from the competition. It wasn't about the paycheck, it was about the process of helping them achieve their goal, and with their little puppy too. So don't forget to pay attention to the details. You just might win that listing, Let me know what you think, and if you have taken any extra little touches or steps to make sure that you stand out from other agents. Talk to you soon.